I'd just arrived off the train from Dumfries and sat down to open my rucksack when a southbound Pendolino entered platform 4. Realising at the last moment that it was the green Pendo, one of Avanti's 2 colourful trains, I grabbed my camera, laid it on the table and began to record. We don't seem to be in a great hurry to get to London today. Well, that's our splash of colour for today. Nothing of any real interest now until Tangmere arrives about 12:40. When I hear a cry of, "It's the Pride Pendolino." Two colourful trains in succession. What are the odds against that? Well, that's definitely our share of colour for today. Oh, hang on. Cumbrian coastline trains operate from platform 2, a single-track bay. For some time now, alighting passengers exit onto the west side of the bay and joining passengers enter from the east. Today, a barrier has been erected to separate them. Could that have something to do with today's football match between old rivals Barrow and Carlisle? Northern Bell's Settle and Carlisle Steam Special arrives from Lincoln, Gainsborough, Doncaster and Wakefield, steam hauled from Carnforth by our faithful old regular 34067 Tangmere. The Mark I kitchen car really stands out amid the more modern air-conditioned vehicles, but it's the only one which is a genuine steam-age carriage. taken by surprise yet again as the train begins to move off to Appleby without any obvious warning. I've lost count of the times I've filmed Tangmere leaving Carlisle. Something fresh is called for, and I opt for Garsdale, high in the Pennines. I've never been there. And to my surprise, Les Gilpin and Michael Graham agree to join me. At 1,140 feet above sea level, Garsdale is one of the highest mainline stations in England. As we take a look at its surroundings, you may be tempted to ask, who would build a railway station in such an uninhabited place? The reason for its existence is that this was once an important junction with the railway which ran to the east, via Hawes, Leyburn and Bedale to Northallerton on the East Coast Main Line. The station was named Hawes Junction. Until the end of steam in 1968, it boasted the highest water troughs anywhere in the world. 16 railway cottages were built by the Midland Railway to house the staff who, in an age before motor cars, must have lived an isolated life. To the north of the station is Tangmere Viaduct, one of 22 viaducts along the Shetland-Carlisle Railway. The builders had originally intended to cross the mire, or bog, with an embankment, but the bog swallowed up all the material they tried to use, reportedly 250,000 cubic yards, and a viaduct was eventually erected instead. The trackbed of the old Hawes branch can be clearly seen bearing away round the foot of Black Hill beyond the main line. Back in the heyday of the Midland Railway, more than a century ago, the company had a policy of using small engines which were not powerful enough to handle heavy trains over the prolonged gradients of the Shetland-Carlisle, so double-heading to the summit was common practice. The extra engine would be taken off the train and run to Hawes Junction before setting off light engine to Carlisle or Leeds. In December 1910, on a busy night, the signalman forgot about 2 light engines which he had placed on the Carlisle-bound main line. He then cleared the signals for a speeding overnight express train, which quickly caught up with the ambling light locos, causing a devastating collision resulting in 12 fatalities and many injuries. The Hawes branch terminated in a single bay platform behind the present southbound platform. Today, motorists often use this space as a car park. Tangmere and the Special should be 20 minutes behind this Leeds train. So I start to dismantle my equipment to replace a battery. Not a quick job, when my anguished expletive was heard far and wide, and I believe recorded by another eminent YouTuber. So who knows, you may yet hear it for yourself. Clearly, Tangmere hasn't found the gradients daunting. She's right on the heels of a service train which should be 20 minutes ahead of her, and will be held here at Garsdale for several minutes before being allowed to continue her journey. But it's here that the problems begin for me, although I'm not aware of them until much later this evening. When the special eventually departs, I retire to the waiting room to pack my equipment away. During the ride back to Carlisle on a crowded two-car train, I fall asleep. Inevitably, I miss my Dumfries connection, so head to the local chippy for something to eat, and then settle down at Carlisle station to read until the next Dumfries train. As I get up to go for the train, I realise my keys are missing. A frantic consultation with the station staff produces nothing but advice to contact Northern Rail at Leeds. Unable to get into my car, I have to find a taxi to get me home from Dumfries. Not easy on a Saturday night. And then I have to break into my own home, adding burglary to the list of my accomplishments. And all to catch a glimpse of Tangmere. Thanks for watching and listening to my tale of woe. Let's hope the next time will be less traumatic.